One of the reasons you might not be winning in the Battle Matrix protocol is because you are poor with money management, all right? The economy in this game is huge, and I've seen quite a few people ask questions about the economy and the best ways to do things, so I wanted to put together a little guide for everybody. So even if you're familiar with the economy, there might be some tips and tricks in here. I am on the top 500 leaderboard. I've reached all the way up to top 100 and kind of bounced around a little bit, so I know just a little bit of what I've been talking about, all right? I was in early access and just been playing a ton, all right? But before we get started, if you're new here, hi, my name is Chris. I also go by Bootman, and I've been making a ton of Battle Matrix videos, but I also make regular Marvel Rivals videos. But anyways, if you're new, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. It is my birthday month, and thank you to all you new subscribers. You helped me reach my goal of 13,000 subscribers, but my birthday is not until the 23rd of this month. So if you're not subscribed, do me a big favor. Help me reach 14,000. I think we could do it. That'd be great. I'm turning really old this year. I don't like it, but this would just make my day. And it doesn't cost you a penny. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I promise to provide you with some amazing content. All right, let's dive into this thing. So for those of you who are super new, I'm gonna go over the basics. Those of you who are already really familiar with this stuff, you might wanna skip ahead. I'll try to remember to put timestamps in, but if I don't, please don't kill me. I'll try to make it quick. So what is money in the Battle Matrix mode? Okay, you earn money, and this money is used to upgrade abilities. You can upgrade by different roles, so Vanguard, Strategist, or Duelist, or you can upgrade the Equilibrium one, which is purple, which kind of balances everything out. So you use money to buy abilities. You also use money to re-roll abilities. So if there's 4 abilities on the screen that you don't like, you spend one, you re-roll it, all right? You also use this to buy characters. And by the way, this is something that I really don't like, and I'll probably provide the dev team with some feedback. I'm not a fan of just looking at the heroes cost you 5. So if you're trying to swap out characters from your initial character lineup, be careful, because just peeking in there costs you 5. And early in the game, 5 is a lot, all right? But you know, if you have a bad lineup, you got a bad lineup, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Real quick tip that I didn't have written down. For me personally, I do my best to get the best possible heroes. And I do not look for new heroes until after the first bot round. That way I'm getting interest on my money, and I'll dive into how you gain interest in this game pretty soon here. Let's talk about the 3 types of cards, okay? I don't know the technical names for them, but there are 3 levels, okay? There's so I'm just gonna name them right now. There's basic, okay? These cost 5, all right? Then there is like rare, these cost 10, and then there are legendary, these cost 15. So obviously the legendary ones are, you know, super duper good. You cannot get these things until you level up at least to level 10 for a specific color. You can see that on the left side of the screen. So one of the main strategies in this game is to just hyper focus on one. If you're doing any kind of team composition that uses an assortment of characters where you're using all 3, you're definitely gonna wanna go all in on purple. But like if you watch my video on 6 tanks, and you'll wanna go all in on blue because you don't really have a use for, you know, the green or the red. You might want to get purple later, but anyways, you get what I'm saying. Spend your money wisely, go for purple if you have a diverse lineup, and don't waste your money on other things. Now, something else you could do in this game is sell cards. So if you buy something on by accident, or later on, maybe a really good card pops up and you want to buy it, but you don't have enough money, you can go to the little screen that says activated, and you can sell cards, okay? The ones that you buy for 5, for each star, you sell them and you get 4. So it's not terrible, you know, it could be less, so it's not awful. I rarely use this, it just depends on what I roll. But anyways, if you buy a card, you can sell it later. Now, for those of you who don't know, you cannot sell character abilities. So keep that in mind. Next, one of the most important things that we need to talk about in this game is interest. So you can gain interest on your money in this game, which is one of the reasons why you want to be smart with it. And I'll dive into some more in-depth strategy in a second, but basically for every 10 that you save, you get 1 interest. So if you have 10, you get 1 extra after the round. If you save 20, you get 2, 30, you get 3, 40, you get 4, and 50, you get 5. And the maximum is 5. So there's not really a point to save way past that unless you just want to buy a ton later on. I've experimented with it. Like a lot of people, like I've had a lot of friends be like, oh yeah, just save like the first like 6 rounds. And it's like, there's no real benefit to it unless you are purposely going for a loss streak, which I'll talk about in just a second. But anyways, that's how the interest works. You get 1 for every 10 that you save. Now, it's important to understand how the rounds work. I had somebody ask me this in the comment section. They're like, how do you know what round it is? Okay, so in the very top, in the middle, you'll see these numbers. It'll be like number dash number. So it'll be like 5-1, 10-3, whatever it is. So the first number is the round and the second number is the phase. This is very important to pay attention to. You can also look in the top right corner because there are going to be bot rounds. For bot rounds, this is a great time to save and earn interest. Let me repeat that. The bot rounds are a great time to save and earn interest. You are most likely going to beat the bots every single time, so there's no reason to buy abilities. Like, you might want to buy abilities going into your next round against a human because you need stronger, heroes to defeat them. But with the bots, they're pretty basic. The only time you'll really lose is if you don't have any abilities really, really early on, if you are like trying to save. So pay attention to this. Now, the bots pop up. You might want to write this down, but it's easy to memorize if you understand the pattern. The bot rounds are 6, 11, 16, 21, 26. All right. So basically, if these started on round 0, it would be round 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. Does that make sense? Cool. So just add 1 to that, then you'll know when the bot rounds are coming up. So the bot rounds are also when you get to buy new abilities for your characters. You don't buy them, you get them for free. In the first round, so round 1 or 0 or whatever, you get to get 1 ability. The next one, you get to get 1 ability, and then every one after that, you get to buy 2 hero abilities. Okay, so pay attention to those bot rounds. What I was saying is, if you look in the top right corner, usually it'll be your opponent's name. If you are heading into a bot round, it'll just be that straight up and down line, okay? So that's another way to tell that you're going into a bot round. Please pay attention to this. Far too many people are buying abilities going into the bot round, but like I said, this is a great, great, great time to earn interest. Now, I'm about to talk about streak bonuses, and so there's lost streak bonuses and win streak bonuses real quick. You can get win streak bonuses off the bot round. I think I checked this. I need to double check it. But I believe you get win streak bonuses on the bot rounds, but you will not get lose streak bonuses on the bot rounds. So let's talk about the streak bonuses. So there are streak bonuses. So whether you are losing a bunch in a row or winning a bunch in a row, you will get a bonuses. So there are some strategies people do around this. And the loss streak bonuses, they start at 3 losses in a row, okay? So for 3 losses, you gain 2 extra. So for 4 losses, you gain 3. For 5 losses, you gain 4. It maxes out at 4. So if you do the math, let's say you are at 50 and you have a 5-game loss streak. You are getting 5 from the interest, and then you are getting 4 from the loss streak. So you're getting 9 total. So this is a sort of catch-up mechanic. Some people purposely do loss streaks in the beginning. This is something I discussed in the 6 tank video. It's something that I did a lot. I've been kind of experimenting a little bit more with this, but pay attention to your streak bonuses. One of the worst things that you can do is go back and forth, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Sometimes this is unavoidable. Sometimes, you're going for a loss streak bonus and then you just accidentally win and it's a pain. But if possible, go for either the win streak or the loss streak. Next up, let's talk about some strategy around the early rounds. Do you buy or do you save early? Okay, this is going to be up to you. Let me know down in the comments below if any of you have an opinion on this. Here is something that I personally recommend. Okay, you should either go for the loss streak or the win streak. go for one or the other. And typically you could decide this after the first round because it's becoming more and more common that a lot of people are not buying anything the first round. So what I'm saying is if you lose, go for the loss streak. If you win, we're gonna do something a little bit different. So let's talk about the loss streak first. If you lose the first round, don't buy anything, don't reorganize your heroes, just keep them on the front line. Don't use any of the activation abilities, so like the little heal or the damage that you could do to the other team. Don't do anything. Just try to lose. Try to lose so you can max this out. Because again, like I said, worst thing you can do is go win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. So you don't want to lose the first round and then win the second round and then lose the third round. Then you are going to fall behind the other people who are getting those streak bonuses. Okay, so let's talk about the win streak strategy. This is something that I've been doing a little bit more lately now that I'm messing around with like better comps and everything, like some of the videos that I've pulled up that you should definitely, that I've put up that you should definitely check out if you haven't yet. But if you win the first round, go for it. So if I win the first round, typically I still won't buy the second round, but maybe I'll organize my characters in a formation that might give me a little bit of an advantage. I'll use that, that team heal or, the opponent team damage. I'll at least try to win the second round. Then after that, with a lot of the comps I run, there's a mix of everybody, so I'll go for purple. I'll dabble and buy, a little bit of purple, just a little bit, so I continue that win streak. I try not to buy too much because I'm still trying to maximize the amount of interest that I'm getting. But again, the thing that I am trying to avoid is winning like the first one or two and then losing, all right? Because you either wanna go on a big win streak or a big loss streak, all right? So yeah, you'll usually try to get at least like the first like 4 wins or so. That's typically about the average, or going into the next bot round, that is going to be ideal if you're going for the win streak bonus. So the next tip that I have is to try to save in increments of 10, okay? So what this means is you're trying to get interest. You're trying to get interest, so when you're buying things, do the math, do the math of 5, 10, 15, however much the cards cost, and try to save in increments of 10. So, for example, let's say you have 55 cash or 55 units, whatever they're called in this game. You can buy a 5 cost ability because then you will be taking 50 into the next round, which will give you 5 interest. But if you buy a 10 cost ability, now you are only getting 4 because you're at 45, all right? And in that scenario, let's say there was like a really good 10 cost ability and I just, I really have to get it, so I go down from 55 to 45. I will, if there's something on the screen right there, I will buy one more 5 cost ability because I'm already at the 40 range. It's not really going to cost me anything in interest wise by going down to 40, because 40 is that floor, all right? So another question I get is like, how much money should you keep in the bank, right? Again, like you always wanna try to maximize your interest, which means try to hold on to 50. If possible, try to hold on to 50 whenever you can. Just try. If you get into the later rounds and there's really juicy abilities or you're on a fat win streak and you can kind of balance it out, whatever, go ahead and treat yourself. Buy a little something, all right? But I try to stay around 50 whenever I can, all right? Sometimes you can't do this, but a lot of times you can. You can continue getting some wins. You can also look on the right-hand side, see how other people are spending their money. So if they're being like, really like reckless with their money, then you might have a little bit of an advantage as long as you're getting interest. Like if everybody else is just spending their money all willy-nilly, you'll be getting interest and they're not. So you might be able to, work with like 40 or 30, but my goal is to sit around 50 for as much of the game as possible. Now, the caveat to this is when you're losing and it's getting near, your final health. If you only have, if it only takes one more round to knock you out, spend all your money. Just spend it all, buy whatever you can, re-roll, buy, do whatever it is to get you the best abilities to give you a chance, okay? And you'll be surprised how much that works. Like I had a game today where I was experimenting with different lineups. I only had 1 health left and I just spent all of my money and I ended up working my way up and getting 2nd place. Like it was nuts. And it's all because I just spent my money before I was knocked out. So the last thing I want to talk about is, some strategy around re-rolling. So those of you who don't know, I live in Las Vegas. I used to have a little bit of a video poker problem, uh, but I haven't really played too much since I got sober. Oh yeah, by the way, on June 23rd, it's not only my birthday, but it's my sobriety birthday, celebrating 13 years. So that's pretty sick. Anyways, so I relate, if you're a poker player or you've ever played like, video poker, I relate re-rolling to this, okay? And what I mean by this is, let's say you have 4 cards on the screen, right? And there's one card on there that's mediocre. You can lock the cards. So if you lock the cards, let's say you don't want to spend any money, but you want the same cards there for the next round, the lock function's very good. But let's say there's like one mediocre card. Do you lock it? The answer is no. You have better odds by just letting that mediocre card go, like especially if one of your colors is past 10 and you can get like a rarer card, like you just wanna get 4 new cards. You do not wanna hold on to this mediocre card, because let's say you hold on to that one mediocre card, it's going to keep the other 3 that you don't even want to touch. So odds are you'll get something better if you just don't hold anything. All right. Obviously, these odds change. Let's say if you bought 1 or 2, and then there's a third one that you kind of wanted to get. Yeah. So just kind of keep that in mind. I don't want you to lock the screen if you're just going after some like 5-cost card, like especially early game. Like, don't do that. Just go for the best stuff. All right. But anyways, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff I missed. So if you guys have any suggestions on just the economy in this game, have a conversation down in the comments below. I'll be checking it out. I'll chime in, all that kind of stuff. Love interacting with you guys. There's been a pretty great community around Battle Matrix. A lot of useful tips down in the comments below. All right, but anyways, that's all I got for this video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, again, make sure you subscribe. Ring that notification bell. It's a really, really simple birthday gift you can give me. Doesn't cost you a penny, all right? And in return, I promise to provide you with some amazing content. I am going to try to be doing at least 1 Battle Matrix video per day, so make sure that you stick around, all right? But anyways, that's all I got. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.